Hello, lovely. I wanted to address the question today that I'm often asked when people first come and talk to me, and the question really is about: I know I need to leave my job, but I just don't know where to start, and I don't know what it is that I want to do, and all of those things. And I was watching or listening to a podcast today, which was Stephen Bartlett with Daniel Priestley, and Daniel Priestley said something that I thought this is a really important point. And so I mean, this is something that he said, but it's obviously something that I've heard many times and I believe myself. And so I would like to share this with you as well. And that is that if you think about that you're in your working environment and you're surrounded by people who are also potentially institutionalized, as you may be, having worked in your same job for 10 or 20, 30 years, maybe, or certainly working in a job for a lot of that time. But you've got this hankering to get out and do something different, something living off your own wits in some way, having your own business perhaps, or just doing something for yourself. It's unlikely that the people who are around you are going to say, that's a brilliant idea, you should go and do that, right? I mean, you might have some people who say that, but generally, people are unlikely to say that because it kind of reflects on them a little bit. Like if they see people taking off and doing great things and they're not, it can be quite hard for them to come on board for that, for you. And so if I was to say, what is your first step in doing this? I and this is again what Daniel Priestley was saying, was you need to, for at least an hour or so a week, you need to surround yourself with people who feel like you do or who are doing what you want to be doing. Because you need to allow your brain to see that it's possible. And that's often very difficult when you're in a different specific environment. And so for me, I joined something that was called Escape the City. And it was designed for people who wanted to start their own business. And we'd meet once a week for a couple of hours. And then I think it went for 3 months, and we listened to speakers and we worked with each other and did exercises and all those things. And while I'm not doing now the thing that I came up with then, what it did is it allowed me to just see what else was out there and that it was possible and that people were doing this. And so that's the question you probably want to ask yourself is, how can I do that? How can I put myself in an environment where this is what's happened? And you might do that by, you might have some local entrepreneurial circle that you can go to, or you could be watching lots of things or being part of a group online. Anything like that that takes you out of your current working environment, because obviously if that's what you're seeing every day and that's what you're listening to for every day, that's what your brain is going to be listening to. And so that's kind of what this is part of the reason that I created Missions Accepted, was because I knew there were women everywhere in their 40s, 50s and 60s who wanted to do something different, but currently perhaps in roles where it takes over, their job takes over much of their day, and the rest of the time it might be family. And so we meet every fortnight for an hour and online, and we just check in with where everybody's at. We do a bit of journaling together. I pose some questions. People tell me what's working for them, what isn't. And of course, I also have a number of exercises that you work through in your own time. So you can bring that back to the group and say, well, this thing came up for me, or I'm really struggling with this thing. And it might be many, many months before you make any kind of move. But that's okay, because what you're doing is you're starting the process by being around people who are thinking like you're thinking, and some who've already made a move and some who are only just starting. And it's a hugely supportive environment, and it allows your brain to start seeing what opportunities there might be out there for you. Much harder to do that if you are working solely inside your current group of friends and colleagues, because they are not necessarily going to be anywhere near the path that you're looking to take. So that's just something for you to think about, because honestly, I think trying to do it on your own is really, really hard. And I would just love you to be able to draw on the wisdom and the experiences of other people who are in the same place that you are, my own experiences, because I can share that with you as to, the mindset is so important. But honestly, your brain cannot see it. It's like you're at the bottom of some steps and you can't, you might see the few steps ahead of you, but you really can't see what's at the top of the stairs yet because it's too far up there and you don't know what's going to be on the landing. And all this stuff might be waiting for you there on the landing. And, I want you to be able to just feel like you've got someone who you can walk up those steps with. So if that's something that resonates with you in any way, and don't just take it from me, take it from Daniel Priestley. This is what he is saying. And this is a man who's started many, many millions of businesses and supported other people, not millions of businesses, made millions of money out of, I think he has about 10 businesses, and he supports lots and lots of other people to do their businesses. And he says that's the first step. And I'm like, it really is. It really is, because you have to give yourself, your brain, the chance to acclimatize to that kind of world. And that is much easier if you can do that with other people. So if that interests you and you want to talk to me about it, you can drop me a DM or you can click on the link that's around this video that will take you to some information and the chance to book a call with me for free so that we can talk about it and we can see if that's where you're at.